Hey, it's Ann Carden here, and I want to ask you, how is your business doing right now through the COVID-19 crisis? Is it growing and thriving like many of the business owners and entrepreneurs I'm speaking to, or are you stuck and stressed and struggling at this time? I want you to know that as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, whatever it is you do, you have an opportunity to grow and thrive in times like these. But you are completely responsible for what happens in your business, good and bad. And that's where the rubber meets the road. You know, many people will not do what is required to not only be sustainable through a challenge or a crisis like this, but to grow through this. 25 to 30% of the businesses will go away. But you don't have to be one of them. You have a choice. And so I want to share with you what you need to be doing in your business right now to be one of the businesses that are thriving and can come out of this bigger and better than ever before. You know, I've been in business for 29 years for myself, building businesses. I've built 6 and I've sold 5 of those. And I will tell you, in every one of those businesses, I experienced huge challenges just like this. In fact, even worse, really. When I think back to the 2008 recession, that went on for 4 years. Could you imagine this, what we're going through right now, going on for 4 years? Well, I will tell you that a challenge is a challenge and an obstacle is an obstacle, but it's what you do with it that matters. You know, I was able to sell all 5 of those other businesses, and it was because when things got tough, I got going. And I did everything I could to make shifts and pivot in those businesses so I could continue to grow and come out of things bigger and better and stronger than I was before they all started. You can do this too. You know, when I talk to business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, every day I'm hearing feast or famine. They either have so much business that they don't know what to do with it all and they're turning business away, or they're struggling and they're trying to figure out where their next dollar is going to come from. I want you to know that you can be one of the businesses that thrives, but you've got to be willing to make the changes and do the work that are required, and then you can make it through this in a big way. So the first thing is you've got to shift your mindset and your thinking, and you've got to realize you have complete control over everything that goes on. If you are the decision maker, the buck stops with you. You are responsible, good and bad, for what happens in your business. So the first thing is your mindset, and you've got to take responsibility for what goes on in your business. Super important. Now, this means you want to focus on solutions and not problems. Yes, you need to look at the problem. I need more money, right? That's a problem. But what's the solution? How can you get more money? That's where you need to put your energy and your effort and your game plan. Okay? So the first thing is shift your mindset. Don't be a victim of what we are going through right now. If you're a victim of this, you're always going to be a victim of the next thing that happens, the next crisis, the next challenge, the next obstacle, the next competitor. All right? You can't be a victim. You need to be a victor. Let's help you win. All right, the second thing is you have to look at what your goal is. What are you trying to achieve? You need a tangible goal. If you don't know what this is, you're going to probably flail around, okay? How much money do you need to make? Let's look at 60 days. How much money do you need to make in the next 60 days or the next 90 days? Now, not just to pay your bills, but to also sustain your business and maybe even implement into your business stuff that you should have already done, but maybe didn't, and now it's hurting you. Things that you need to implement into your business right now. So how much is that money? How much do you need to make? I'm just going to throw a number out here. Let's just say in the next 60 days, you have determined you need to make $30,000. Okay? And this is going to give you the money you need to kind of make it through this and be okay. All right? Now it's important to reverse engineer. And the reason you need a tangible goal is you have to be able to set up a game plan. And you can't set up a game plan if you have no idea where you're trying to go. All right? So we want to reverse engineer. And we want to figure out, okay, how are we going to make this money? Super important. What do we need to do? All right? So the third thing you're going to look at is, what am I selling right now? What are the services, the products, the offers that I have right now that I'm trying to sell? And does it meet a market need? Are people looking for it right now? Do people want it? Do they have a desire for it? Okay, if you're trying to sell something that people don't have a want for or a need for, then you are going to struggle and you're going to have a hard time trying to make any sales. So the first thing you've got to do is look at your offers, and are you selling something that can help you get to the $30,000 or whatever your tangible goal is? All right. If not, how can you make a pivot in your business? So this is where you're going to have to innovate. You're going to have to get creative. I was just having a conversation with a marketing guy a couple hours ago, and he was telling me that his whole business is dried up because the audience that he was serving had to shut their doors, and they have no need for lead generation. They don't want leads right now because they're not even open. And I said to him, look, how can you create a new offer? How can you go back to those clients and ask them, hey, is there something you would like to be selling right now that doesn't require your doors to be open? Is there a product? Is there a service? Is there something that we can bundle together that we can put a marketing campaign behind that you could go and sell right now and still make sales, still make money, but it doesn't require you being there? And so he's like, I never thought of that. Okay, well, that's a perfect example of how you might need to innovate or get creative in your business. Now, he may go back to that audience and he may find they don't really have anything or they can't really think of anything. Well, if that's the case, then he's going to need to shift his market. He's going to have to go look for people who right now do have things that people want to sell, right? And he can shift his market and he can go help them set up marketing campaigns so they can sell their products or sell their services or whatever they have. Because right now, a lot of people are still buying. They are still spending money, but they're doing it with things that they want and need. They're not doing it with frivolous things or things that they aren't really that important to them right now. Okay? So you can do this too. Any business can do this. That's a great thing about being a small business owner. You can do anything you need to do to keep growing your business. So the fourth thing is, how are you going to sell, or how are you going to market? All right? You have to realize that you're probably going to have to change your marketing strategy. So whatever your strategy was before, or if you didn't have one, you're going to need one now. Whatever your strategy was before to sell your goods, to sell your services, to sell your products, you're probably going to have to shift that because your market's probably going to change. Maybe your niche is going to change. Your message is going to have to change. This is all part of a marketing strategy. So before you can put a campaign in place, you've got to have the right offer, you've got to have the right message, you've got to have the right market. And then you can decide, okay, where are those people and how can we reach them? This is one of the things that I have to help my clients do in their business is get their marketing right so that their marketing is an investment into their business and it's consistent and it's predictable and it can bring them business over and over again. And when you can do that, it's kind of like buying money at a discount. The more money you spend in your marketing or the more you ramp it up, the more money you make. And so, of course, you have to have a good ratio there. I'm not talking about spending more than you're making, right? But when you can do this in the right way, you have total control over your marketing and total control over your systems. So get your message right, get your market right, figure out the media that you need to use to make this happen. All right? The fifth thing is, if you've got all these leads coming to you to buy your product or your service, you've clearly got to be able to close them, right? And so your sales process is really important. And not just your sales process. Let me see if you can see this. Let me move my microphone here. Not just your sales process to close sales, but even increase sales. So you want to also be able to add some strategies that can help you increase the conversion, but also help you increase your sales. Like you can add an upsell, you can add a cross-sell to boost those sales and increase the average ticket spend. You can put some offers together to make more transactions. There's multiple things you can do in your business right now. Guys, you have to close the gaps. You have to look at what the situation is in your business right now, what is keeping you from making sales, and you've got to find new opportunities and close the gaps. Going back up here to the products and the services, if you don't have something, if your whole business is around something that people don't want, or need right now, then you maybe, if you can't make a shift in what you currently do, then this might be the time to bring in a new product, bring in a new offer, partner with someone. But you've got to create a new income stream, a new revenue stream. You can't just sit there and go, well, nobody wants this right now, and so I can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can do something. You can create a new revenue stream. What does that look like? Maybe there's a product you've been thinking about doing for a long time or bringing into your business for a long time, and you just haven't had time to do it. But right now there's a market demand for it. By the way, that's the catch. You've got to make sure that what you bring in that's new, there is a market demand. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with one more thing that you can't sell. So you've got to, again, be creative and innovative, but every business can do this. There's not a business out there that can't innovate and shift and be creative and start and make sales. So you can do this too. All right, so increase your sales process. Make sure you're capturing every sale that comes through the door, or on the phone or wherever you're meeting with people. Make sure that you're capturing every sale, but also that you're boosting every sale, you're increasing every sale, or at least wherever you can. Here's the thing. If you have an upsell in place, and what is an upsell? Okay, you go to McDonald's and you buy a quarter pounder meal and they say, hey, would you like to supersize that? That's an upsell, okay? Any business can implement an upsell into their business. This means, or a cross sell. So maybe, they say, hey, would you like a cherry pie with that meal? That's a cross sell, okay? Or you go to a store and you buy a dress or a shirt and a pair of pants, and they say, hey, would you like a tie? Or hey, would you like a handbag and shoes? Those are cross sells, okay? Every business can implement an upsell and a cross sell into their business so they can boost their sales right at the sales conversion. Have you done this in your business? Are you missing opportunity there? Do you have gaps there that you can close the gap? But then the other part is you want to downsell. So maybe what you have is not something that they necessarily can afford or need. How can you offer them something lower tier? Not cut your prices, I'm not talking about that, but how can you offer something lower tier so that you can still close them into something? So all of these things, guys, are gaps and opportunities where I guarantee people are literally leaving tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table in their business right now that they could be capturing and growing their business. Again, small businesses get bigger during economic downturns. You can be one of those small businesses. So listen, I want to be here to help you. Where do you need to make a shift? Where do you need to make a change in your business? How can you keep growing? How can you keep thriving through this time? I want to invite you to a 20-minute, I'm calling it a triage call, where I can look at your business and see what your opportunities are. And we can talk about what you are missing out on right now in your business and how you can actually start making sales and start getting things in place that you need that are going to help your business not just be sustainable through this, but help you make some sales and thrive through this situation. So I want to invite you to book a 20-minute call with me. We'll get on the phone just like the marketer I was talking to, where I gave him the ideas on what he needs to go and do. I'll do the same thing with you. We'll talk about what you need to do to move your business forward. You do not have to be a victim of your circumstances. Book a call right now. Let's chat. There's no obligation. We'll just have a conversation, and then we'll see if there's an opportunity to go further with that. So I'm Ann Carden. I am here to help. Go rock your business. You have every opportunity. It's all on you. You have an amazing day. Bye-bye.